Oh, hello, my gorgeous Virgos. How are you, my gorgeous ones? So, I was trying to get all these out before my birthday. Today is my birthday, so I will be off for a couple of days. Um, but because I had to see clients, I couldn't get these videos done. So, I will be working today on my birthday, but that's okay because I'm going to have the next couple of days off. So, you have a really good something coming up on the 14th. So, welcome. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot, astrology, mediumship, hypnotherapy, all kinds of stuff to help you on your path. So, my gorgeous ones, we're going to go over just the highlights. I am not going to do the extended ones until next week. So, you can come back to this video next week, and it'll be on the side of the side of the video here, or in that little eye icon where you can click and connect if you want the extended videos. Okay, so I'm just going to be able to do the regular videos, but the extended ones I'll be doing next week. I do have Gemini, Sagittarius, and Capricorn and Cancer extended on my website. So let's talk about you. Enough about me. So the Grand Trine we have this month in June is the first through the third, and so you see you have Scorpio. You have Jupiter in Scorpio, you have Neptune in Pisces, and you have Cancer in Venus in Cancer. So for you, Virgo, it's 11th house, and then third house, fifth, sixth, seventh house, right? So your seventh, mm-hmm, your seventh, your 11th, and your third. So this has to do with so grand trines, if you don't know, are gifts being brought to you that are supposed to be on your path, right? This is just a gift that you didn't have to put any energy into it. Now, don't mistaken me by when I say you don't have to put any energy into it. It doesn't mean that you didn't put any energy into it. It doesn't mean that you're not focused on it. It just means that you didn't at this for this particular gift you didn't have to. So with it being a water grand trine, this is something being brought to you to fulfill you on an emotional level, right? And so with your 11th house, your third house, and your seventh house being lit up with this has to do with relationships of all kinds. Like if you're focused on business, if you're focused on, this has to do with, like we have relationship with everything, money, people, coworkers, all kinds of stuff. And the seventh house is about that. It's the mirroring house. So, and the 11th house is social group, social networking. Um, yeah, and I'll go in deeper on that other video. I don't want to get too deep. So, this grand water trine has to do with something being communicated to you or something being, um, that's sort of the, it can have to do with your neighbors, your friends, your siblings, relatives, acquaintances, coworkers. That's like the third house stuff. And with this being lit up, you could be having a message being brought to you or something, I don't know. It's different for everybody. So just understand that the first through the third is that grand water trine coming to you. You are dealing with oppositions here. And in that other video, I'm going to go deep into the aspects of these houses that are being affected for you. I am going to give you something here on this video, but I don't want to go too deep. I just want to kind of give you the overall of what's going on to kind of give you some guidance, right? And I don't think any of you guys said this, but I know some others have said, well, nothing's happened to me and and you're always wrong and blah, 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 which, I mean, that doesn't bother me. I just need you to understand that if something's not happening to you with this bigger energy, you could have squares. You could have some other aspects that are causing this not to happen to you. I wouldn't know until I went into your chart. Okay. So these are general readings. But I know, Virgo, you know that. I'm just saying that in case anybody else has any questions about that. So on the 5th, so that's the first through the third. Um, and you have this trine here. So you see this trine here? This has to do with your 10th house, yeah, and your 6th house. That's what I want to talk about. I just don't want to go deep. And you have Mars retrograde. It's not retrograde yet, but it's going back. It's gone back into Aquarius. And so this 10th house has to do with your life purpose, and the sun and Mercury being there. Mercury wants to give you a message. The sun wants to clear things up. It wants to make you bright. It wants to bring you to the center of attention about what's going on with you. And so you could be with this trine, something that you had been working on. You may have been having to put more force into it with this Mars going into Aquarius, but it's so that you can see it in a very different way because that's Aquarian, very right. Aquarian's like 150 years ahead of society. Um, and so it could give you some inspiration. Maybe you're redoing some things because these are all retrograde. So you've got Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde, Mars retrograde. We've got the North Node retrograde. We've got Jupiter retrograde. And retrogrades are all about amending, editing, revising, reorganizing, and completions. It can complete some stuff too. So, whatever this is another gift being brought to you. This has the moon in there right now on like the 4th or the 3rd. And so the moon is something emotional, something being brought to you. This is an opportunity of some sort in your work, in your life purpose, okay? Now, I know that a lot of you are with this North Node in the 12th house. A lot of you are having to rework and re-understand and trying to figure out what type of healer you are, actually. And so I'm not going to go too deep, but you're trying to sort of figure out with this North Node in this 12th house, like what type of healer are you? What are you going to do? What it is? How is it that you do it? So maybe you were taking a class, and maybe you were studying, and then you're having to re-study, or thought it was one way and seeing it another, and that's what this is about. And so let me move on. So on the 5th, again, I'm trying not to go too deep. I can't help it. Okay, so on the 5th, we have the sun is conjunct again, so it's going to be conjunct for there for a minute. So the sun is conjunct Mercury. This is in your 10th house. So messages about your work. This could be because when the sun and Mercury are entering this house, they want to make you the leader. So this could be about you leading in some project, about you. Maybe somebody else was leading and now you're leading. That could be what that opportunity is. Maybe somebody saw that you had a different aspect and a better aspect, and so this project got handed to you. Maybe something like that. So this has to do with your leadership and your work. So this is a message about work for you. Now, it is squaring this Neptune, okay? And so the Neptune is in your 8th house, and wait, 7th house, sorry. Neptune is in your 7th house. So with it squaring Neptune, like the energy, the focus could be on you, but maybe you think it's on somebody else with this Neptune. Yeah, like when it's squared, it's like a square means they're both trying to get you to the same place. But they're both trying to lead. So maybe this other person's trying to lead, or maybe the situation's trying to lead, and you're trying to do, or somebody's trying to get you to lead. Like it could be this, but this is your 10th house, your life purpose, or maybe you're trying to figure out like with your life purpose, and you're getting some accolades, but you're trying to figure out how to do that with others. Like that could be that too. That could be that square too. Okay, so that's going to be going on the 5th. Either way, you'll get a message of some sort, because this is when it kind of goes right direct on there. So there's a message to be brought to you. I will tell you, with Venus being in your 11th house of social networks, of social groups, this has to do with you doing a lot with humanity, with people around you. Your careers are like really focused on, that's where you're focused at a lot right now. Your relationships are too, but relationships of all kinds are being focused on. Okay, so let's go to the 12th. Yeah, because the 12th has something that I want to talk about. Okay, so the 12th, on the 12th, Mercury enters Cancer. See, on that day, Mercury enters Cancer in your 11th house. And so this has to do with groups and organizations, and it could be that you're dealing with older siblings at this time while Mercury's in Cancer. but this is about communicating something, or you being communicated to about something having to do with groups and organizations and even older siblings, right? So on the 12th, that will happen. Mercury, I mean, yeah, Mercury always comes with a message. And so maybe it doesn't happen on the 12th, but it happens on the 14th or 15th because Mercury is going to be in here. But I will tell you that as Mercury gets closer, like to the middle, it's going to give you some sort of message. Again, you're going to have the moon very quickly. The moon doesn't stay in one place, but the moon is going to be trining this Mars. So whatever you've been working on, readjusting with this project or this thing, it looks like you have an opportunity to have something being brought to you that's going to help you feel better. Yeah, help you feel better. And then you have this sextile with Mercury. So whatever this is, this message that's coming to you, going from into your 11th house, this is Uranus. So Uranus likes to shock and awe, but it likes to shock and awe to liberate you. And that is in your ninth house. So your ninth house is going to be lit up with Uranus. I am doing a Uranus series on my website where I'm going to go over each of the houses and how that's going to affect you, or each of the signs and how Uranus is going to affect you in this next 7 years, or how it could affect you. So Uranus is going to bring some sort of shift, and it could come through this message about, yeah, your social networks, your groups getting bigger. Could be like that you've been really working on these things with groups, or at work with a project, and then it just gets bigger. It could be something like that. Like it's different for everybody. So again, this opposition, whatever you're working on here, has to do with this North Node. And that's in your 12th house. So right now, I will tell you, with the North Node being in your 12th house, your dreams could be very vivid at this time. Like you could not get much sleep at this time. But what's going to happen is Venus is going to go into Leo. And listen, Venus is the only planet, one of the only planets that will, actually, it's the best planet too, that works well in the 12th house. Okay. So it can bring gifts. It can bring stuff, even if it's in the 12th house. Where usually a planet will get lost in the 12th house, Venus works well in the 12th house, and with your North Node. So when it goes to your North Node, something could be coming through. But I will tell you, you're probably having very vivid dreams right now. You're probably feeling really connected to Source, to your higher self. Probably have been for a while, or maybe you had been and then you stopped, and then you were wondering why it stopped and how to connect again. Like that's the retrograde. But when Venus moves into there, there's going to be something being brought to you. Um, and what it brings to you when it goes into this house is prosperity. So whatever this is, it could be completing something from, like maybe in a past life you did something or did some things, and then in this life you're getting to reap the benefits of it. Because when yeah, so that could be happening to you. So I won't, again, I'm not going to go in too deep, but that's going to be going on. So on the 13th is when, so the 12th, 13th, and 14th are really big days for you guys. So the 13th is when the new moon goes in Gemini, and it's going to oppose Saturn. Okay. So, I mean, at this particular time right now that I have on it, it's not, but it's going to oppose Saturn. And Saturn has to do with Saturn being in your, see, this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So when Saturn goes into your fifth house, this is karma. This could be like karma being brought to you, good karma being brought to you from past life. So when Saturn is in your fifth house like this, as it's opposing the new moon, and you're letting, you're manifesting and you're trying to bring forth something, Saturn could bring in past good karma, something that you did in your past life that you get to now reap the benefit of in this life. Okay, that has to do with Saturn. Okay, so But this 12th house, on the 12th, when Mercury enters Cancer and your 12th house is lit up with this north node, you could be letting go of past issues or dealing with past issues with a mother figure. um, that could be coming up prominently in your life right now. So I did want to mention that. So on the 14th is when Venus actually enters Leo. Okay. So this is what I was talking about before. So when Venus enters Leo, and it's going to be in your 12th house, it can bring prosperity because Venus is the one planet that can work well in the 12th house. So, or and with your north node actually too. So, as you've been working on this, as you've been dealing with this stuff, and Venus comes in there, it's going to bless you with some sort of love, luck, and money. Okay, and that kind of depends on your path as to which one it's going to be, or it could be both, or it could be two, it could be three. It could be love, luck, and money. It could be love or luck or money. It just kind of depends. Um, okay, so that's going to happen on the 14th. So be aware from the 12th through the 14th. You have those things happening. Remember the new moon, and I have new moon videos. I have the new moon and full moon videos on how to use the energy. In the new moon, you want to be thinking about how you want the next 30 days. You want to be thinking about um, seeing yourself in that and manifesting that. Like, don't think about what you don't have and what hasn't come because you do that all the time. Like, let's think about what you want, where you see yourself, what you can do. Like, not even what you can do, like beyond what you can do. Like, shoot for the stars, right? Um, and so that's on the 14th. And remember, it's going to behave in a very Leo like way, which is center of attention, me, um, about me. And so Leo has leadership qualities too. So whatever that you've been working on, it could be blessing you with this position or with um, more money, this position, and then you get more money. It just kind of depends. So on the 18th, so the 12th through the 14th are very important days. Then on the 18th, so on the 18th, Neptune, well, on this one it doesn't, but so I'm going to do the 19th. So we'll do the 19th. So 18 or 19, and that's another thing. It kind of depends on where you are at. It could be 19th for some of you, it could be 18th for some of you. So on the 19th for some of you, on the 18th for others of you, Neptune is going to go retrograde in your seventh house. Now, with Neptune going retrograde in your seventh house, you could be dealing with a dishonest partner. And that doesn't mean just romantic. It could mean business partner. It could mean your friend. It just kind of depends on who you have these deeper partnerships with, because the seventh house deals with relationships. So whoever this is, you could be dealing with a dishonest partner. I'm not saying that's for everybody. I'm just saying that's possible. But again, you have this grand trine, this water grand trine, but it's going to have Mercury instead of Venus. Okay, so you're going to have Mercury instead of Venus, and so it comes with a message, right? And so this message could mean, like, some of you may see this the wrong way, but I see this in a different way. Like, maybe you get this message where something gets cleared up, and it was a gift being brought to you. Like, maybe somebody came and told you that somebody was being dishonest, but because of that, you're able to let go of that relationship and move forward so that you can get the partner of your life, or get the better business partner, or get the better relationship. Like, maybe that's what this grand trine could be, because it comes with a message, whatever this is. Okay, so that's going to be happening on the 18th or 19th, depending on where you are. Now, I will tell you that on the 21st, yeah, and again, I'm not going to go over all the aspects. I'll do that in the extended video. So on the 21st, the sun enters Cancer right here. So on the 21st, the sun enters Cancer in your 11th house. So you could have powerful people or powerful friends coming in at this time while the sun enters this house. Somebody that can help you on your path, somebody that can help you get to the next level. But you could also be dealing with a father figure, okay, at this time. And if you have an older sibling, you could be dealing with issues with an older sibling, okay? Whatever this is, the sun has come in here. Mercury's already in here giving messages. The sun's come in here to clear things up. Okay. But remember, you have this Venus in your North Node in your 12th house. So I will tell you this at this time, while you have the North Node in your 12th house, and especially while Venus is in there, before you're going to sleep or you're meditating or taking that walk and meditating or you go work out and meditate, however you meditate, or you sleep. When you go to sleep, ask the questions that you're concerned about. And then you could be getting very vivid dreams and answers to these questions while you're sleeping. Okay. You're very lucky to have, I mean, we're all lucky in some capacity, but you're really lucky, Virgo, to have that connection with Source, that North Node in your 12th house right now. Because some of you weren't born with the North Node in your 12th house, some of you were, but when the North Node is in your 12th house, you could be getting your answers very vividly in dreams or when you meditate, because that connection is like really powerful right now. Okay, so that's happening on the 21st. On the 23rd, let me look here. On the 23rd, you have the Sun and Uranus sextiling. To me, that's opportunity. That's your 11th and ninth house. So I will tell you, for some of you, this could be travel. It could be sudden travel. So you could be dealing with that. The 11th house, again, has to do with groups, organizations, social networking. And then the ninth house is your belief system. But the ninth house also has to do with travel. And with Uranus here, I mean, it could just, for a lot of you, it could be about, like, all of a sudden this travel comes up. So you could be talking about sudden travel. Again, you do have this opposition here going on with this North Node. And then you have Venus in opposition with Mars. So whatever you're doing here, it's going to take a lot of work, because Mars goes back here and it's going to go retrograde. And you're not going to feel the effects of your work. So it's not going to really break through until probably August, September. September, October, really. But you have this going on here. And so this just means that whatever you're trying to figure out here, whatever is going on, and this being in your sixth house, you're going to have to push more. You're going to have to work more. You're going to have to really focus on what it is that you're doing. But you're Virgo, you can focus. Okay, so that's going on the 23rd. Again, there's so many aspects I could talk about, but I don't want to, because I don't want to get too deep. On the 26th is when Mars goes retrograde. Okay, so Mars going retrograde in your sixth house. I will talk about the sixth house really quickly. Mars is going to help heal some things. Mars is going to help fix some issues. The sixth house is about where you get to consciously change the life around you. You get to make the choices and change it, and you get to take the actions, right? You get to consciously say, this is what I want to change in my life. This is what I want to change in my daily life. Where the 12th house is like subconscious. It happens, these things come, and then you decide whether you want to ignore it or do something about it, right? So, yeah, and I will say with this also, the sixth house has, it could be talking about debt, and then also health issues, because the sixth house is your health and well-being, right? So, but these health issues, these things are things that you have a choice in. These are things that you can, like, and this is just at the top of my head, okay? This is not like saying yes or no, or this is bad or not. But this is the example I'm getting. Is like, maybe you're at the borderline of type 2 diabetes, right? And so by not getting full-blown type 2 diabetes, you could change your eating habits. You can change your exercise. You can lose some weight. You can do that. Like, that's what I mean by the sixth house, is like, you can have these issues, but you can do something about them. That's what's going to be going on while Mars is retrograding in there. And so this is about you changing your lifestyle. This is about you fixing some things in your everyday life. And this could be talking about also divorce too. Divorce, debt. Yeah. I don't want to go too far into it. So just know that while Mars is retrograde in here, you'll be working on that. You'll be, and maybe you did start working on it, but then maybe you fell off. Like maybe you started saying, okay, I'm gonna meditate every day. I'm gonna do this, and then you don't, and then you like got busy and couldn't, and then so this is about redoing this. This is about refocusing. This is about fixing the area of your everyday life, your health and well-being. It's important for you right now for your health and well-being. You also could be dealing with your father or yeah, your father or a father figure at this time while Mars is retrograde. Okay, so on the 28th you have the full moon in Capricorn, and that is going to be in your fourth house, right? Seventh, sixth, fifth. Sorry, fifth house. So that's going to be in your fifth house. So the full moon is about letting go. Um, the full moons are about letting go what no longer serves you. Full moons are also where things can come through from like past things that you've done. And so the way that I explain it to people, and I know that you've heard me say this, but if you haven't, we here on earth in this vibration and this resonance can only have so much energy run through us, right? In our whole selves we have unlimited energy that can run through us, but in this aspect of us we only have so much energy that can run through us, right? So much vibration or whatever vibration we choose. So with that, all the things that are around you, the people, the relationships, your house, your car, your work, your job, your laptop, your coffee, your food, your all of that is vibration and energy running through you. It's also these past things that you've held on to, these people that did these things to you and you haven't let go of that issue, these blah, blah, these other things that have happened, these trauma. And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong, I'm just helping you understand. Maybe you couldn't deal with it at that time. Maybe you had to like get up and go to work and feed your family and do da da da, so you didn't have time to deal with that, right? And so maybe you just kind of put it to the side, put it way back there. But what happens is you continue with your life and you carry this energy with you. As you're carrying this energy with you and you fill your life up with the things that you have, the things that you're moving towards, the things that all your life, as you do that, you're holding on to this energy, and that doesn't leave room for the abundance to come in. So as you go back and you look at these things and let go, and by letting go, I don't mean you say, well, I'm just going to let it go. Spirit doesn't ever want you to do that. They want you to understand, why was it that happened? What did I learn from that? How am I better now than I was then? Or how am I different? Not even better. How am I different now than I was then? Had that thing not happened to me? When you do that and understand, then you can thank your higher self, thank that person, in meditation or just in a thought. Thank you for coming in and being the bad person. Thank you for coming in and help me to see. Thank you for coming in and helping me to grow. Because had you not done that, I wouldn't have known. And I wouldn't be this person today. And when you can do that from your heart, then that's letting go of that energy. And when you let go of that energy and when you let that energy run through you and let it go, by the way, that's transmuting it. But when you transmute it and then release it, that allows more room in your energetic field for your abundance and your dreams and all those things to come in. Make sense? So, you'll have this full moon in Capricorn dealing with your fifth house. The fifth house I can go in depth, but I don't want to do that. So, the fifth house, with Pluto being in your fifth house, you have issues with, you could be dealing with issues about control. With Saturn in your fifth house, you could be dealing with delays of, even if you have a pregnancy, it could be delays here. But also in your fifth house, when Saturn's in your fifth house, again, this is good karma, or what we call good karma, or you can, I don't know what you could call it. You could call it like good energy being brought to you because you decided to do this on your path, right? But maybe you did the work 2 lifetimes ago and decided to do the work 2 lifetimes ago so that you could reap the benefit in this lifetime, right? And so dealing with that fifth house with Saturn in there, if you're working on it, if you're letting go, if you're doing what you need to do, this good karma or this good energy or this good thing could come into your life right now. And so you could be working with that. Also, I wanted to mention with the North Node in your 12th house, you could be dealing with foreign people, foreign lands right now, right? And so also, yeah, I don't want to go too deep, sorry. So just understand that if there's like a choice between should I work with somebody here or should I work with the foreign person, like, or like maybe the two deals are almost exact and you don't know which one to take. Right now, this 12th house being lit up with the North Node has to do with foreign lands and foreign people. So just understand that. And then Pluto is about control. Pluto is about understanding the control, understanding um, how you control people and how people can control you, and how where your boundaries are going to be. And again, that has to do with the seventh house of Neptune being in there, because Neptune wants to like take all the walls down. But Neptune wants to meld. Neptune wants to give you the illusion and the fame and the togetherness, right? And so you're trying to figure out. You could be trying to figure out in relationships, how do I do this? In relationships, how do I connect with somebody and still keep my own identity, right? So that could be going on the 28th, but whatever this is, it's like in this T square with this Chiron, which is Chiron's your eighth house. So you have the sun, you have Saturn, and then you have this Chiron. So the sun being, yeah, and this is your 11th house of people. So whatever this is going on has to do with the past trauma. So if you don't know anything about Chiron, I have a Chiron video. Everything I talk about will either be on the site at the end of this video or in links in the description box. So look at that Chiron video so you understand what's going on. Yeah. Okay. And then on the 29th, sorry. So on the 29th of June, Mercury enters Leo, again in your 12th house. So with Mercury entering Leo, this could mean that your dreams are really getting vivid, and that you could be really getting some answers. And even if you didn't ask for these, like consciously, even if you didn't ask these questions, you could be getting some answers, or you could be getting some way to see where your future is going. Like you could be having visions at this time. And you guys, you're Virgo, you're very connected. I know my South Node is in Virgo, so I know all about Virgo. So you could be really connected at this time, really seeing your future at this time. You could be getting a lot of answers to what's really going on. And then you could also be feeling some isolation, like, I just want to figure this out. I'm not really wanting to be around people right now. Like, that could be happening when Mercury goes in there. So, yeah, that could be happening while Mercury's going in there. All right, my gorgeous ones. Again, I didn't want to go too deep. I hope I answered a lot of questions. If these things are not happening to you, again, I'll have the link up above. You can order a reading with me where we do something like this, where it's astrology and tarot. And I look at your aspects and your transits and stuff. And then we can talk about what's going on with you. Okay? So here we go. Let's do your tarot. All right. Yeah, there's a decision you're trying to make. Or I think it's more about you needing to understand that you can be in charge, that you are in control. So what I'm seeing is like, you understand that you're connected to the other world, but sometimes it's so hard for you to really make yourself come first. Yeah, like, can I really create the world that I want? That's what I'm seeing. So in the month of June, this is you, this is your position, this is the Chariot. The Chariot is all about being in the middle of something and then realizing that I can take charge, that this is my world, that I can make decisions, that I am worthy enough, that I mean just as much as everybody else in the world means. Not any more, not any less. And sometimes because I'm doing for everybody, and that is my nature to do first for everybody, sometimes it's okay to do for me. And that's kind of where you're understanding and figuring that out. So, looks like whatever this is that's really important, where you think you don't have control, you have control. You just have to make the action. Some of you have made the choice and are afraid to make the action. So make the action. Take the first step. Things will open up. Take the first step. So this is your challenge and Spirit's advice. So your challenge is the 10 of coins. And your challenge I'm feeling with this Ten of Coins is about your worthiness. Your challenge is understanding how important you are in this world, how important you really are to other people, how important your placement in this world is. Like, I know it's easy for us, and I'm going to go a little deep here. I know it's easy for, but this is what they're giving me. I know it's easy for us to say, well, if I wasn't here, life will still go on, right? And that's true, but life would go on in a very different way than it would have if you were here. I'm not sure why that was needing to be said, but that was needing to be said. You, I think it's imperative that you understand your importance here. Even if you feel like it's so tiny that it wouldn't make a difference, it will. It will. Understand you are loved, understand you are loved, and understand that you come here to experience things just like everybody else has. So you are just as important. That's a challenge for you. For others of you, I see the challenge is understanding your worthiness so that you can understand your abundance, right? Because the Ten of Coins is all about the abundance. The Ten of Coins is all about that generational money, that lump sums of money, that big thing that's going to make you feel safe and secure, right? And so, yeah, I'm still going back to worthiness because I'm seeing that you can have that. You're just not allowing that to come in. Whether it's because of your belief system or because of your understanding of how you don't think you're worthy. But I'm feeling like that's right around the corner. You just have to allow it and accept it and let it come in. Quit fighting it, right? And so in your third position, this is about the fate, the destiny, the things that are coming on your path anyway. So you have the Eight of Coins. So for some of you, it is higher learning. For some of you, it is going back to the basic and trying to figure out, or maybe readjusting whatever this is that's coming in. It is something that you want to do, something that you're really focused at. Could be a relationship, because whatever it is that you're really wanting to do is coming in, and you're going to be studying that or understanding that or experiencing that. And that, because it's a general reading, I'm seeing it in very different ways. For some of you, it is a special person. For some of you, it is that position. For others of you, it is that house. It is that relationship with your parents or your relationship with your family, or it is that special friend. It's different things for different people, but whatever this is, that's what's coming in the month of June is you being really actively focused on this thing. Okay, now where you're headed, or I won't even say where you're headed. This is going to be going on within the month. So this is like the overall theme of what's going on is the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is about separation. There is going to have to be some letting go. And I think that's why you're stuck here in this middle, where you're like, I kind of know what to do, but if I do this, then I have to let go of this person, or I have to let go of this situation, or I have to let go of, and I think that you need to ask yourself the question as to why you don't want to let that go. Like, really ask yourself the question, because that's what I'm hearing. Because I think that maybe it's the memory of what you think it was that you don't want to let go of, instead of what the reality is, the physical reality is. Okay? So throughout the month, it looks like you'll be dealing with this separation. Some of you, this separation is as simple as, I have to take this job and I have to go out of the country. And again, because you're dealing with, some of you are dealing with people in foreign land. I have to leave the country, and so I have to separate from my loved one. It could be that simple. But whatever this is, it's about separation. It's about letting go. It's about trusting. All right, my gorgeous ones, I hope I helped. I love you, love you, love you. Again, I'll have those extended videos. You can come back next week, and on the video itself, you'll see it up here. And you can click on that or in the description box. Have a great weekend. Bye.